I can't parent letter right now, but I like that. What do you feel about that?
I like it.
Okay, I want to add our logo to it. So this wasn't what I was supposed to be working on, but
It has the colors.
I just You'll do that. Wow.
That is too funny. So, you know how Padres, they were criticized, the UPS, they put after once.
So good.
That is too funny. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh yeah. My son's in high school and he plays. He's a pitcher. Okay. Okay. So I just want to give you a little brief introduction of Unit 3. Just the changes, little slight changes that we made. The same way how you have an introduction for Unit 1, where, it's a presentation. We're going to do the same thing for Unit 3, just an introduction of what is Google Sheets or spreadsheets. And they're going to do a small activity after that. So what's new? So we're depending on the grade, it's kind of the same format, but depending on the grade, we're going to talk about the different cursors, the different tools that they're going to see, and the functions. So that way they're able to identify. Normally we have either posters of the fill handle or the column. And even though we have that, they still have questions as far as how to resize the column, where is the autofill, especially with the younger ones. So we want to enforce the cursors, the tools, and the formulas. And then also, depending on the grade, these are the new projects that you will see in spreadsheet. So kinder and first, they're gonna work on an actual battleship. We always have an introduction like, okay, pretend you're playing Battleship. Well, a lot of kids don't know what Battleship is or how to play it. So on this one, and I kind of got the idea because one of the students were like, okay, well, where is Battleship? You told me you were gonna play it, let's play it. So we created a Battleship project, and then also pixel art. We also identify spreadsheets that's pixel art. And we also wanted our students to actually play with it. Let's, have them feel comfortable using the format and using this coloring cells and so forth. And then we're going to have them practice different tools, different formulas. For example, conditional formatting, they're going to do some of that. They're going to create their crossword puzzle, identifying some of the terms that we already identified. A pivot table, how to create one. I don't think we've had a project with pivot tables, especially with the younger students. And then name range. That's another one that they're going to work on. But not all the grades, it just depends on the grades. So for example, kindergarten, these are the new projects that they're going to work on. This is the same one. They're identifying the columns and the rows. And then the Battleship, what they're going to have to do is they need to type an X in order to find the hidden color. So this is kind of like a practice. The way how I did it with my students, I had them all work on it at the same time. So everybody had it, and then I would go, Julia, what column, what cell do you want? So they'll say like D5. So everybody click on D5, and then let's click on X. So, they'll see if they have the color or not. And then kind of like an extra, depending on your students' levels, I had them color the boxes on the side just so we know that it's been completed, but it's your choice. I just did it on my side, that way they don't have to worry about it. And it's not case sensitive. It could be capital or lowercase, but it just has to be that one. And then of course we have to tell them to press enter in order for either the color to show up or not. And then on this side here, it's going to be right below the Battleship. They're going to identify these cursors. So we just have to click and drag, move the cursors and place them on the right spot. So that's for kindergarten. And then for first grade, it's a little bit similar. They'll still have the Battleship, but it's not the same one. It's not the same puzzle. It's different columns and rows. The same thing with the spreadsheet. They'll identify the columns and the rows. And if you notice the cursor, it has two more. So it's not the same identifying the cursors. And then the pixel art, what they'll do here is they'll fill in that math problem. And then as they fill it in, the picture will start showing. Okay. And for second grade, it starts getting a little challenging. We still have the Battleship, and it has more colors. I think it has the gold and the pink. And then we have identifying our cursors, but also now we're going to start identifying tools like the currency. Where's the currency? Where's the function? The merge cells. And then down here, they're going to insert a formula to solve this math problem. So that we're going to teach them how to insert a formula on there. For second grade, they should be fine. So then we have third grade. This is an example. So we have the pixel art. They can create their own. They just have to use the paint bucket. So this is one that one of my students created. So it's just, you know, making a house, making a star, especially since they kind of saw it last year with the other projects. They can create their own. This, I kind of gave them like 2 sessions because they were really into it. Some of them, you know, they wanted to make more. And it's nice to, you know, have them excited. And then on here, you know, they have to type their own problem. They will type in their own numbers and type in their formula on their own. And then here, they'll also do the labeling, but it gets, you know, they have more tools and more cursors coming up. Okay, and now we have 4th grade. So in 4th grade, this is a little activity that they're going to work on. It's part of the labeling, and they have now their also with their formulas. But also what they're going to do is they need to follow those steps, and they're going to start using the fill handle. So every time they finish, they complete one of the projects, they'll just fill it down. So they're using the merge center, they're using the wrap text, they're using the all border, deleting a row, renaming sheets, and also sorting. They're going to see a list here on the side of Google terms, and then they're going to sort that out, and they're going to add borders. So 4th grade has a little bit more. And then they're going to, there's a presentation that they're going to see. So based on that, they're going to complete that crossword puzzle. So they have to type it in. And if it turns black, then, you know, they'll keep going. And it's by letter. So let's go into 5th grade. So on 5th grade, they're still completing their, you notice how the formulas and the cursors, it's pretty much all filled out. And they'll still do the checklist, but it's just more things where they need to rotate the cell by 90 degrees. They need to fill it in. They need to do their sort range. So it's just adding more to the list, aligning to the middle, to the center. And then on this one, they'll do the format for the date. And then also they'll do another format for their date of birth that I was able to find, and then another crossword puzzle. And for 6th grade, even though they're going to have the crossword puzzle, now they're going to make their own, they're going to do their own conditional formatting. So if they can use the same words, but now they're going to go in there and they're going to type in their own formula or their own custom formula. And then, you know, this is an example of the crossword puzzle, of kind of like the hints that they want to add on there on their own.
And this is the first project or the first 2?
This is the first project.
Just introduce them to how to use.
Yes, yes.
You're familiar with the layout.
Mm-hmm. And 7th grade, this is where they create a pivot table. So I already have a table for them. So they'll just do a couple of formulas on there, and then they're going to make their own pivot table on. So it will kind of, because I don't think we've had a project with that one. So it's just a practice. It's pretty much filled out, but it's just for them knowing the steps. And then their conditional form, their own crossword puzzle, and their conditional formatting. And the 8th one, this is like one of my favorite ones. So they'll type in the term, and as they're typing in the term, you know, the emojis will start showing up, you know, little kind of pieces by pieces. On this one, they're going to make their own conditional formatting, but without, it's like a custom formula that they will have to type. Normally with the younger ones, it will be like text as, where they have to just type in the word, but this one is the actual formula. And then on this one is they're using named ranges. So it's just using the formula where it copies the grocery list. They will have like a drop-down list that they would have to create using a formula, and then the name ranges where it creates this table on its own. And that's it. Do you guys have any questions? No? Yes.
So this year I'm starting in a school who has not had a formal technology program, at least not in recent years.
Mhm.
So, if there's, would you recommend, or is there certain, either units or, projects that maybe like I should not attempt, or should I maybe go back a couple?
You can go back.
Levels?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we made it kind of like step by step. So you know your students, especially now in the third unit. So depending on, you can even do maybe second grade, just so they can kind of, understand what is Google Sheets.
They will, a lot of this, they're gonna get.
Yeah.
much quicker
Yeah,
For a new school, but definitely can always go down the grade.
yeah, yeah,
Then it's possible they maybe have never used.
right.
Yeah.
Sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And just identifying, even if you want to do the one that identifies all of them, or maybe little by little, depending on what you see. But, as long as you have K through 8th, see which one fits the most. Yeah. Uh-huh. Any other questions? So every project will have an introduction, will have a slideshow, and then it will have an activity after. So that way they know, they're going to click kind of like a plug and play. They're going to click and they're going to see, oh, this is the cursor and this is what it's for. This is a pivot table and this is where you're going to find it. So everything will have an introduction and then along with an activity after.
So then, like, project 3 is what starts with the character theme
Mhm.
and the actual working on an Excel spreadsheet.
Correct.
With data science, data visualization, forms, and all that.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys, so that's, we only have unit 4 that we'll do an overview of tomorrow, so the rest of our time now is just finishing up working on unit 1. These samples, you can get creative.